Hello everyone, and welcome to the first of what is hopefully a series of Monster Train videos. Monster Train 2 is one of my favorite games in the roguelike card game genre that I've ever played. I put almost 200 hours into it in the past few weeks here, and my complete obsession with it has led me to wanting to go through and make a video about it, because I haven't made a video in quite a while. To those of you who are new to the channel, or otherwise don't know what I'm playing here today, this is a card game, a roguelike card game that is kind of like Slay the Spire, except you place units on 3 different floors. And I just wanted today to go through the highest difficulty, which is Covenant 10, killing the Titans on Covenant 10, and seeing if I can go ahead and do that with a combination of clans that I don't often use. I'm looking to, hopefully, beat the Titans with every single possible clan combination in this game, and so I'm just going to go ahead and start documenting my journey here for everyone to follow along with, if you please. Hopefully you'll learn a thing or two about how to kind of build a deck, and my decisions as I try to go through this goal here. Hopefully they'll be of some use to you, right? So we'll click a new run here. I've already got this one preloaded. We're going to be playing Underlegion and Banished. Ordinarily, I would be fine running a random Pyre Heart here, and for some of the future videos, if this gets a bit stale, I may run it. But for today, I'm actually going to specifically run the Pyre of Dominion. Reason for that is because I just really like it. Pyre Dominion is my favorite of the Pyres in Monster Train 2, simply because of the amount of deck flexibility it gives. Of course, there's something to be said for the other Titan Pyres as well, right? Pyre of Savagery is really fantastic, Boggroom's Growth is very good, and I also like Life Mother's Pyre if you happen to pull a Dante and want to clone him like 5 times. If you don't know who Dante is, he's a very powerful unit that you can get from an event in one of these, in one of the floors, right? But for today, we're going to be running Underlegion Banished. Usually, with this type of combination, I'd be looking to get Valor and Decay and proliferate those status effects on my units. Of course, we won't be running these starter cards here with the Pyre of Dominion, right? But nonetheless, let's head right into it. So, the first things first, whenever starting any run, you want to take a look at your cards and just see if any ideas spark to you. So right now, very quickly off the bat, right? We have a Proliferate here, and we have a Divinity here. That already is exactly the plan I set out to do when I was talking earlier about proliferating Valor. So if you don't know, Proliferate basically says for every status effect on your unit, increase it by 2. And Valor 10, of course, makes it so that when you have a unit in front, they're going to get armor, depending on their Valor stacks, and of course attack as well. Squad Leader, I'm not as big of a fan of, honestly. I've never been able to make good use of this card, mostly because I don't really find him when I'm running a Fun Guy deck, and when I'm not running a Fun Guy deck, I find him, he's really kind of a bit silly that way, let's say. Another thing you want to be taking a look at too is your boss fights. You want to be building your deck based off of the fights and what you can handle. So right off the bat, we take a look at the Seraph, since that's going to be our hardest fight, probably. I really often lose to this one because of the sweep units, and I just don't remember that he has those sweep units. So again, sweep units are units that hit everything on the board on your side of the train, right? So if you have any small units like, you know, the Squad Leader in the back, they're just going to get hit by those sweep units anyway. So you have to find ways to deal with those in order to fight this Seraph, right? Same thing with Parrot, this Archeon that we'll fight first. This is the one that just, I think, is the easiest, if you ask me. He does a lot of damage, but you can play around it pretty quickly in this clan. You can toss units in front that are just fodder. That clan being the Underlegion, of course. They have a lot of expendable frontline units, right? So we also have Kale, Lord of the Cherubs, as a opponent here. Kale and his Cherubs grant +7 and lifesteal 1 to enemy units. So that's not usually a problem if you have a really good first floor. So your first floor, if you can kill the little cherubs he makes before his friends eat them, you don't have to worry about that at all. Of course, you still have to worry about the lifesteal if they do get past it, so planning around that, not as much, but still fun to keep in mind. Okay, so we have our first pick. So again, if you don't know, Pyre of Dominion removes the starting cards from your deck, and instead replaces them with 2 of each card that you can pick, right? So okay, so we have Inhale, which is fine as a starting damage card. We have Truffles, which adds equipment to my hand. And we have Cheery Deathcap, which applies Decay 7 to enemy units. Decay is pretty good with my champion, Madam's Lionsbane. A few of her upgrade paths in this game deal with Decay, right? But honestly, I think Truffles is the pick here, and my rationale for that is the clan combination we're running, Banished. So Banished deal with equipment. They have a lot of equipment payoffs, and this one giving me an equipment every 3 turns with -1 is totally fine and serviceable. I've never actually ran this color Truffles in a Banished deck, so I'm hoping that this may be of some use to me. There's also something to be said for getting the damage spell for the mushrooms, because we can actually make the squad leader work, right? But I'm curious to see if the synergy works. What else do we get? Demonize, descend to play melee weakness 2. Everlasting Light, very good card. Strike, apply Valor 2 to friendly units. That could be good with our Consume proliferate here, because again, applying the Valor to everyone means that we can proliferate the Valor on everyone, right? Melee weakness 2 is also something we can proliferate, but it's usually not as good. I've noticed, I've tried that a few times in this color combination, and it doesn't usually work out for me. Direct Dive's alright, but I don't really have any big units to support it. Of course, I'll be drafting units next, so I could be drafting around that. And there's also something to be said for not picking the equipment, because I'll be having a lot of equipment from my Truffles, right? So, it's a bit of a tough pick here. I think I'm going to pick the Everlasting Light. I wanted to run those equipment synergies, and I'm going to run those equipment synergies. We'll see where it takes me. Okay, so we got a couple pretty good picks here. Cluster Kernel's good because you can stick him, again, every turn he spawns 4 mushrooms. Stick him in the top 4, he does work. The Amorous Inoki, applying regen 1 to all my units on rally is pretty good as well. Again, that's another thing I can proliferate, so I am tempted to run that. Especially if we do get some spawn cards, although we don't have any right now, right? It's a tough one. We have a lot of small units, I'm noticing. A lot of units that only cost 1 space here. So I'm actually tempted to take the Amorous Inoki, just because we can, even if we don't have spawn, we can still get a little bit of regen and then maybe proliferate that. Okay. Shift gain Valor 3. Again, Valor is something we want to be getting to proliferate, but we don't actually have a way to currently move any units to trigger Shift, which again, you know, triggers when it moves. Huh, Slam. Slam. I think Slam could be okay. I need a unit that can equip this Everlasting Light, so usually it would be the Battle Lancer, but we don't have a tank currently. We have a lot of small units and no tank, so I think I'll take the tank, especially because another thing that this can do is, whenever you spawn, which is when you make a mushroom, the mushroom spawns at the front of the floor. So with the Steadfast Crusader here, his ability moving forward to take the hit from the mushroom might be pretty good, especially if he has a few stacks of Valor, which gives him the armor if he's at the front, right? So he needs a way to get to the front. Let's see what artifact we get. Summoning a Hypnist applies Valor 5 to friendly units. Well, I don't have a Hypnist. That would be interesting. I could maybe do something with Hypnist and just, you know, like an endless Hypnist sort of deal and just keep applying Valor 3 through that. Or Valor 5, pardon me. But I don't know if that's true or correct. I think I might take the Winged Steel, and the reason is because, again, when you play your 3rd card of each turn, draw 1. We're going to be playing quite a few cards each turn, I think. Let me make sure that that's true. Because we'll be getting a bunch of equipment to our hands. They'll cost less, some of it even free, right? That's also just a good card in general. We don't have to build around it for it to be good. It's just a generically powerful artifact. Alright, so we have 2 different upgrade paths here. We have Apply Decay 1 to enemy units. When a unit gains Decay, it gains 2 stacks. We don't really run Decay in this deck. We don't have any source of Decay right now, so I don't know if I'm keen to run that. I am totally comfortable running Man-Eating, though, so this gives her the ability to apply Sap, which decreases their attack, and Decay, which gives them damage. So I don't mind that. It allows her to kind of quote-unquote tank without needing to tank, which I'm not too miffed about. I'm curious how this deck combination does. Right now it's looking a little, I'll be honest with you, it's looking a little scuffed, but we'll see what we get, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is turn this trial notch right on. Usually my opinion is if you're not able to beat these trials, you're probably not going to be able to snowball in order to beat the Titans at the end of the game. Every gold you get matters for, you know, upgrades, removing cards, things like that. So if possible, I snap to pick every single one, unless it literally destroys me if I pick it. So First things first, I think the Amorous Inoki is the first card we play here. Our other options to draw later on will just be the Truffles, so... I don't really want to play the Squad Leader out, because again, we don't have a way to make Fun Guy. So I'll just play the Inoki. And then, I think I will play... Kind of seems like we need a tank here. I want the London's Lion's Mane here as well, though. She can, even though she's a pretty low unit here, low health unit, with the man-eating ability, she can end this regen here. I think that this floor can actually kind of tank by itself. I'll put another Inoki and then another tank up here, and then lastly one more tank at the top for good measure. Alright, so we didn't draw super hot. We did draw the Everlasting Light, which is one of our equipment. But we drew 2 Vengeful Shards and Divinity. The Divinity would be great to put right now, but I don't know if I want to take 2 damage for that. I don't think that's worth it. I think instead I'll apply the Everlasting Light to... Ooh, I forgot. I have the Tra artifact here, so I drew into my Truffles, but there's no way for me to play it. In order to play 3 cards, I would have to spend 3 mana anyway. In this case, I'll go ahead and sap the main guy, so we take no damage this turn, and you'll see what I mean by kind of tanking without tanking, right? Alright, I have no problem using the slams of these guys off cooldown. Simply because hopefully they'll, it's a two-turn cooldown there. And it's good enough to preserve the HP of this guy. You have 2 Valor per stack here. Again, we'll do the same thing. And I think this time... I actually will play... the Truffles, I think. Question is where... I think I'll just play him here, and the reason being because now I can get the regen here, and I'll fetch with him first to see if I get anything interesting. Moonlit Glaive, which gives Mage Blade, again, power per stack of magic power, which we don't have in this deck, so pretty useless equipment. That's fine. I will hit the Proliferate now to get some regen going on, and then I think instead of playing this one, we're going to go ahead and play this one right here on the Truffles in the back. So getting a lot of Valor stacks between all of my units here, killing the enemy there. Pretty easy first run, I'd say. So once more, this proliferates, we'll die to that. And here we are at the boss, which again seems to be dead without me having to do anything. Play the Truffles here, I just want to see what I get for fun. What you get, you boy? Another Moonlit Glaive. Ah well. You're nothing if not reliable. And it's as simple as that. So, pretty easy first boss. Again, that's the one I always want to be seeing whenever I make a run. I almost never have a problem beating that particular boss. Okay, so we have some real spells now. We have Consume, Apply Sap 2 to enemy units, which could be good with Proliferate again. And we have Spawning Pods Consume Spawn 4, which would be finally a way to actually get some spawn going on for our squad leader here. I think because I also have a rally effect here, I think I have to take this, because you could also proliferate the troop, and adding another unit on a floor is a very good thing with the stacks of Valor that we're hopefully applying to everyone with the Everlasting Light, so proliferating that will be even better. As for these picks, let's see, I'm not as keen on any of these. I mean, we can proliferate the melee weakness, right? We can also work with, do some Ascend stuff, maybe like, you know, put a bunch of Rally on the Amorous Inoki, pardon me, and then move units out of the floor so that I can have more room to place units on that floor. For more triggers. I don't know if that's good, though. I think I just go with the challenge, just because it has synergy with cards we already have in our deck. We have 2 options here. We have a Merchant of Magic, which forges our spells to gain new powers. Merchant of Steel. What do I want? A good thing to think here is what in a perfect world, what upgrades would I want on my units and what upgrades would I want on my spells? In a perfect world, I think I would probably want my spells upgrade. Proliferate is kind of what I'm building around, and that's, of course, a spell. I don't really care too much about giving the squad leader anything like HP yet, because we're not going to see the sweep units that could kill him for quite a while. And the Steadfast Crusaders could have something like Titanite, which reduces their damage by half, but we don't really need to worry about that right now. 30 health is more than enough to deal with most things. Reducing the cost of this divinity could be good, so since I'm also playing Under Legion mostly, I do want to get an Under Legion unit, and I think that kind of seals my deal on this path. Alright, double stack. We could double the divinity and apply Valor 20. Is that any good? That sounds pretty good. We also could give something holdover. I don't know if holdover is any useful here. -2 in consume is fine, especially in this clan combination, because Under Legion specifically has a lot of synergies with consume, right? So it's usually not a bad idea. So I think what I do here is I'll probably take the consume on the divinity, reduce one of them to 1, and then take the other one and give it double stack, so I can just keep casting that one, and cast the other one for cheap when I need it. But I'm not actually going to do that yet, because the first thing I'm going to do is pick this Under Legion unit and see what I get. So we actually see here, let me just check this first, but I actually get a Morale Mistress, which has an effect that whenever I consume a card, as I mentioned, she applies to K8 to enemy units. So we have Proliferate, which consumes, we have Spawning Pod, which consumes, we potentially can make one of the divinities consume, we have some other kind of consume synergies going on there. I could take the Prickly Puffball for some more tank, but again, I literally have 2 tanks here, and Madam's Lion's Mane is kind of doing tank and surprise. So I think I actually take the Morale Mistress here, because of the consume synergies we got going on. So I'll consume one of these, and the other one I'll give double stack, and hopefully we can maybe give this another better effect. I don't actually know what I'm looking for on that. Maybe if I get enough energy, maybe hold. I could put holdover on it, but again, I don't have enough for that anyway, so not the end of the world. Ooh, I can actually... Oh, nothing uses magic power. I was gonna say I could use consume on something else, but nothing is eligible for that, right? So, remove a card from your deck. One of the reasons I like Pyre Dominion is because you can save your money on removing cards from your deck, unless you have a really terrible card. I might still remove the squad leader at some point, but he's doing me no harm. He's just a tiny little guy. You wouldn't hurt a tiny little guy, would you? At the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor. We're pretty good against that, specifically because we have the Moral Mistress, which I think I'll put on the top floor here. She can apply Decay to all the units, which will kill them very quickly. Now, as for whether she'll survive, that is another question, so... We do have a good tank, though, so we'll click this. Again, run the trials unless there's a reason you can't run them in your deck. And right now, I think my deck is totally fine. So I think the Moral Mistress has to go on top. The question is, do I need any regen effects on there as well, or do I just play the Crusader? And I think the answer is I just play the Crusader. I don't really have the room to be messing around with the Inoki on this floor. At least not on this particular level. Oh, well, I played the Inoki anyway. Again, undo button's your best friend. Go back up there. Play one Crusader. Play my Moral Mistress. Down on the bottom, I think I'm still fine with the Inoki line here, because maybe I draw the Proliferate card initially, get some regen going on if I need it. And I think I also... Now that I have the spawning pods in my deck, I think I do actually play the squad leader on this floor as well. Again, this gives me more opportunity to find a Proliferate on these guys, if I really want it. And there's one right there. Although, we may need to use it on the top floor. Even though this doesn't do anything, a consume trigger would get decay on everything. But actually, we have a line, so we don't actually need to do that. One slam kills one of them, Truffles can kill the last, and now we don't have anyone going to our floor at all. Good boy. What'd you get? Well, okay. So, I guess we're playing around Moonlit Glaive at some point, but I don't really want to play that this turn. I think I will man-eating one of these. Question is which one? I think I'm man-eating this guy here. Just getting him killed is totally fine and serviceable. I will play this Vengeful Shard since I have the ability, and since I found the Proliferate, even though I'm wasting the Consume trigger, like I said I was hoping to get a Consume, this is still totally fine. Getting a couple extra regen stacks on the Inoki means she's kind of tanking for me, right? So this looks fine, we just send that for now. You may have noticed I just drew the other Consume card I was hoping to draw later on to maybe get a to maybe get a decay trigger going on here, so I actually don't. Oh, I do. I have the Valor I just got, so look at that. So immediate payoff for putting Consume on the Valor there allows me to get this Etch trigger and kill this entire floor for free. So I will still play this Shard because I don't really... Again, I think I have this fight pretty handy so far. Question is, do I play anything else? I think I think I challenge you, just to get you out of the way. Sap you, and just send that. Even get the money from killing the... Okay, so we did draw the double stack Divinity. We only have one turn left in the game, too, up there. So I could just proliferate... There's two options here. I could just hit the Divinity here, and I'm pretty sure the Armor 20 plus some Decay stacks maybe should do it against the boss, but I don't know that for sure. What other option? What am I going to be drawing next turn? Hopefully I'm drawing the Spawning Pods. If I draw the Spawning Pods, I'm pretty sure that's GG. So I think what I actually do here is I'll apply the Everlasting Light to my backline unit to get some Valor spread through like this, and then this floor is dying. I will Slam this turn, I think, just to get some damage in. Actually, it doesn't do anything, does it? I'll unturn. Just in case I need it next turn. There's a chance that this floor doesn't kill the boss on the first turn, and if that's the case, I'll need worrying about this Flagellant going to my Pyre, even though these ones are going to die. We have no problem with this healer going to the Pyre and dying for no reason. Alright, so Everlasting Light, proliferate, get a few more regen stacks, and then, of course, preserve my health with Man-Eating. And are we killing you? Not even close. So how does this help? That helps a bit. How does Spawning Pods help? Quite a bit. Still not a kill. Does melee weakness do it? Does not do it. I should note we also have... I'll undo this. I should note we also have a trigger on the top here for this to get a bit more health, potentially. I don't know if that affects the math too much, but it is a 0 mana equipment, so let's just test this out. So if I was to do that, we get any closer? Barely. Alright, what's in my deck? Do I have any other units? This Amorous Inoki isn't looking too hot. I think I might just have to accept that, you know, it is what it is. I think the Valor might have done it for me last turn. Oh wow. I drew 3 cards because I just played my 3rd card per turn, so playing my Pyre Damager just drew me another one, so that's pretty funny. I won't restart that unless this ends the battle for me, maybe. Something else that's important to note too is that throughout all this fighting, there was a little bit of decay stacks going on too. We're not applying any new decay, but you know, still useful. Ooh, so we did draw the Valor 20 again. I think that we kind of need to run that. I don't even know if this fight does it. But if we run the Valor 30 here, he'll get the 30 armor, and hopefully these two can take him out. I'm not getting any damage to my Pyre from these, but I will take the 1 damage from my Curse. Just to hopefully finish the deal here. I think I could win, so if I do Divinity here... Actually, do I win if I just do this? No, I don't. Do I win if I do that and maybe some Valor? There we go. I was thinking I maybe do the Divinity just straight up on the front unit, and that would definitely kill, but I didn't want to take the 1 damage from this shard, so now I can still play this... Well, I was going to say now I could just play the shard and not take a damage, but, well... I guess beggars can't be choosers. We still get the victory. Alright, what do we get? Okay, so we have Rot, which is decay stacking. If we want to do decay stacking, I don't know if we do care too much about stacking it. Moral Mistress is okay with that. Extinguish Spawn 4 is pretty good with the Inoki. We do have an extra slot. If I just put an Inoki and a Madam's Lion's Mane, all my floors are 5 slotted right now, so there is room for them to be there. But Infectory is also just a fantastic card. being able to, oh, bless me. Being able to go ahead and spawn troops when units die, especially on like the first floor, is probably okay. I don't know if it's good enough though. I think I actually take the green recruit here. Maybe I take a look at my floor first, because you can take a look at what's ahead here if you click the top menu there, if you weren't aware. I actually wasn't aware of that for a while. We are either going to a Merchant of Arms and some health, which could be a unit upgrade, or a Merchant of Magic and a banner. I don't really need the Banished banner, I don't think, because I kind of have my units are kind of fine. I kind of am totally okay with the loadout I've got going on here so far. Of course, we'll see what we get, right? But I don't mind taking the health if it also means getting an upgrade. I really like Green Recruit with Endless, if we can find Endless, but that's not a guarantee. We do also, for what it's worth, we do also want to be upgrading our Consume spells, because we have the Moral Mistress, which is built around them, so maybe the Merchant of Magic is good for that reason. But we already did apply some effects to our spells here. Getting something like Dualism on the Moral Mistress would also be great. Dualism would double the decay stacks there, right? So I think I take the Green Recruit for now. I just like it. I just think it's neat. And then we just say go. Oh, interesting. Consume Advanced Supply Damage Shield 2. Damage Shield is another status effect we can proliferate here. Don't know if it's a good one, but we could also be upgrading. I don't want to take another Divinity. I've got 2 in my deck, and they're both better than this one. Plus, this comes with an Ember. And I don't really have any movement synergies. I don't have anything that moves a card to trigger shift for the Valor, even though getting Valor is good for proliferate, of course. So I think if I'm taking anything, it's Selfless Sacrifice. There is a chance that the correct play is just to skip on both of those, but I think that's totally fine. Oh, this is a Merchant of Arms, isn't it? That should still be fine. We could upgrade the Everlasting Light, maybe, to be something we draw at the beginning, or we could just say screw it and go upgrade our magic and get a banished unit. Maybe I say screw it and upgrade my magic and get a banished unit. Alright, so again, first things first, click the magic, just to see what it's got. These are pretty good effects. Double stack on the Consume would be pretty good, too. Another double stack is just really nice for me. Intrinsic is okay. You could put Intrinsic on the Divinity here, just like do the initial Valor stack, and that would be fine. Because you want to be putting the Valor on your front unit pretty early on, if you can. So, I'm actually not opposed to putting Intrinsic here. I think that's a pretty good play. Maybe, and then we want more Consume cards, right? So, we could do double stack here, probably. And then Intrinsic on this one. So double stack Intrinsic. And then, again, we don't have anything for this Consume, which is kind of sad. I wish I had more Consume triggers, but it's not the end of the world. Anyway, that's what I think I'll be doing, but first let's take a look at our units. Okay, so we have Shift gain Valor 3 and Revenge gain Valor 3. Now, I really like Firebrand. Firebrand just gaining the Valor 2 on hit means that we don't have to really work for it. We just kind of get that. The only problem is the Steadfast Crusader here. We already have a unit that wants to be in the front absorbing that Valor hit, right? It wants to be gaining a whole bunch of armor, which we're getting from the massive stacks of Valor from our Divinity, right? So even though this Revenge trigger is pretty good, I don't actually know if we're doing anything that's good there. We do have a couple ways to move our units now. We do have Selfless Sacrifice, which I could also be upgrading if I need. Maybe with Holdover eventually. Again, Holdover means it goes to the top of my deck when I play it. So I can maybe do Holdover, cost reduction, and then keep moving the Battle Dancers around. Apply Damage Shield and keep proliferating that. That sounds okay. I could also, with the ability Slam, this does move the Steadfast Crusader, and we could even challenge one of our own units if we really want to. So I'm actually going to take the Battle Dancer here, I think. So forge unit to gain powers. I like to forge before I go into the Celestial Alcove, and the reasoning for that is because oftentimes in an alcove you'll get a upgrade to a unit or to a spell. Not all the time, but often. And while you can get cards and spells in there as well that you might miss out on if you didn't, that you know, could maybe have used these upgrades if you had gotten the card first. Just the sheer power of having a spell or a unit that already has 2 upgrades get a 3rd upgrade from the Celestial Alcove and just duplicating that is really strong. It consistently can win you runs. So I think I usually like to play around the possibility that I'm getting that and just start upgrading my cards pretty quickly and pretty early on to account for that, right? So I already know I want the intrinsic on this spell, so I'm going to get that. And I already know that double stack is good here, so I'm going to get that. Anything worth for consume? No. So now we'll go into the alcove, see what we get. Interesting. So this isn't a spell upgrade, but it is a unit upgrade. So if I was upgrading my units, this would have been kind of what I was talking about. These are pretty good. Titan Skin 5 is fantastic for tanking, especially on my Steadfast Crusader. This means he will just never die. Rage 5, Revenge permanently gain Rage 1, I have had massive success with, though. This is really kind of so early on that I think this scaling could do really well on a tanky unit like this Crusader. I might actually put it on here, the Rage 5, and then see if I can go ahead and support him with the regen from the Amorous Inoki to keep him alive, and just stack Rage, maybe even give him multi-strike so that he can deal more damage. So he might actually be, this Crusader might actually end up being the play. Of course, Titan Skin 5 is never a bad pick. Titan Skin 5 on this unit would mean he never dies. But because I have the extra health from the Amorous Inoki and the regen that I'll be proliferating, I think I might be able to make this work. And I'm going to be taking this one because any effects that permanently give something this early on are really, really good for beating the Titans. My deck is already totally fine, especially since I was able to curate it a bit with my Pyre of Dominion. So I'm actually going to take the Rage 5 on this Crusader. Maybe even I'll get Dualism on him, right? And that doubles the Rage stacks he gets. So. Okay. Now, last things last, do I want to remove any cards from my deck? And the answer is, I don't think so. Not yet. I think my synergies are totally fine as they are right now. So I could give... No, I guess I can't. Okay. Let's go. Archeon. So if you have no units on the floor, Archeon deals damage to the Pyre. I think we're totally fine here because we have a pretty tanky... We're playing for every floor in this build, so this should be totally fine. And we're pretty tanky on every floor too. Because we took that downgrade, we do have to play the Savage Shackles to be able to play our units. I do want to be running the Amorous Inoki first, so that we give him just that one extra health plus the regen if we need to proliferate that. Which means that since I want him to be taking the damage to be able to get his permanent rage stacks, I don't actually play my my Madam's Lion's Mane there, right? So I'm going to play... So I'm going to take a look at my deck and see what other units I'll be drawing to figure out what I want. I also want an extra slot here because I want to play maybe a green recruit on this spot right here, and just to get a few extra rally triggers to maybe give him a lot more health. What else do I run here? I think I run the Madam Lion's Mane on the second floor. I could almost run the Moral Mistress here as well, and just kind of have them be the front line, taking up most of the damage, and then these guys finish them off, sort of deal. Don't want to be running the Inoki for that. Not really. Maybe I'll run the Inoki on the third floor, but I only have 1 mana to play with. It's also possible I'll regret if I don't play a Crusader this turn. I don't know. This is a tough one. I mean, there's a chance I draw both Divinities next turn, right? And if so, I want to place maybe one here, right? Alright, so I drew the first Divinity, which will go here. The intrinsic of that means that this will always be something we can play. I don't need to play this, I have no units in hand. Alright, we could just proliferate right now, start getting the regen and the Valor up, and the Rage even too. Yeah, I guess that's something important to note as well, is that now he's getting stacks of Rage that I can proliferate as well. I guess I have the Truffles that I can't play, but that's not the end of the world. I think because... Well, first of all, we'll do this on you. Mad Eating is really good against this version of Archeon because of the multi-strike. It kind of does double duty, the sap trigger. However, Damage Shield isn't as good. He eats through that. I think I apply the Everlasting Light onto the Inoki back here. She'll be a bit more safe. I don't think this Archeon runs any sweep units or knocks anyone back. So in applying the Valor here will make this proliferate later on a bit better. And I also don't have my Moral Mistress out, so I want to save these consumes, right? Alright, so I want to kill these two, so I think a Slam is... Oh, a Slam is not lethal, actually. Interesting. I think I still cast the Slam. Oh, I need a unit for you, otherwise he's going to hit my Pyre. That is his downside. Spawn 4 here is pretty good. And I am killing this unit, and I can just slam and kill maybe another one too. I could even just I could even just sap you and kill you. So I think this floor is already dealt without me having to do too much. So I'm going to focus on maybe building this floor up to be able to beat the boss. I may even just take the damage from Archeon here. That might even just be the play. Okay, so here's the play. I don't have the squad leader, and I'm about to fill this last slot with the mushroom, so I will just play the truffles here now. And then I will spawn 4, get you a bunch of health. So now, I'll fetch just to see what I get. Ooh, a Cursed Twin Blade. Ooh, boy. That is a very powerful equipment to have, even though it's ephemeral. I don't think there's a way I can play that without also not playing this spawn 4. So even though this is strong, I do want to be doing this line of play. So I'll get him to the front so he starts absorbing damage for the Valor, gets his stacks. Again, this guy's never going to die, hopefully. That's the plan, anyway. Alright, I will slam this turn, I think. Just so we can... Ooh, maybe I don't. I think the math doesn't add up, because it's 5 and then 25, right? So I'll have to undo this. Either way, the slam seems pretty useless in this scenario, so... Yep, it does. Okay, so we'll just repeat that. I mean, I could just, like, put this blade here and call it a day, right? Is that good? Is that better than playing the spawning pods? It might be, because even though I get all that extra health, this is just going to tear through the units. I think I do that, especially since he's getting rage. The blade might just be worth it. So I'm just going to go ahead, play the truffles here now, because I then will have room here to maybe place the squad leader next turn. Or something else. We'll fetch this, put you here. The rage will double strike. Seems pretty good. See, now we're killing this, so I think that's totally worth it. And then I think I place a Moral Mistress up top, because she survives with 1 against this Archeon, which means I take no pyre damage. So I'm fine with that. Now with the truffles up here too, we also kill the Savage Spearman as well. We can even, we don't really need to. We don't really care about this unit ascending, especially since the Moral Mistress will kill her next turn. So we'll just use this to prevent some damage, I think. Yeah, I think so. We'll just do that. We do that every turn anyway, so... Don't really need to slam, it doesn't do anything here, so... I'm really glad I decided to put the rage on this unit now. It's definitely paying off pretty quickly. These die pretty quick, no problems there. I'll even make you take less damage. I definitely want to be putting Divinity here. Doing that double damage on top of the double Valor means we definitely take this boss out. Which means that I'm pretty comfortable playing the Vengeful Shard there. Well, the question is, do I play the Recruit here? I think the answer is yes, right? Yes, and then slam next turn, so he goes to the front. The only problem is if I play the Recruit this turn, this unit won't be in the front to take a brunt of the hits, which means he's not getting this rage stacks that I need him to get. He can take the hits fine. So I think I'll actually play a squad leader here, and then maybe hope to draw... Well, that's a bit frustrating. Drawing into a curse off of my Wing Steel is always pretty bad feeling. But it happens. Again, it's happened a lot, but it'll keep happening. And I think this is fine because I still have my spawning pods in the deck to spawn 4, which will still be good with the squad leader and still give me the 4 triggers I need for that extra regen to get my unit back up. All in all, this is a pretty good run so far. there's not really a struggle with any of these fights yet. I say that, of course, as my unit's about to die, but of course now I sap Archeon here just because it's a bit more value that way. May even proliferate here just to make him itty bitty teeny weeny, but because I don't think this keeps him alive, does it? Does it? Actually, does. I think it does. Yeah, it does. Okay. So you're at 35, so I will slam you for that 1 extra point of damage. Thank you very much. I could do another divinity here if I take 1 for it. And honestly, applying more valor to my units would happen again. When will I learn? Either way, this unit down here is doing some pretty good work. I don't need to play this card unless I play 3 cards for the Wing Steel. You're hitting twice, so I think you're kind of just dead unless I spawning pods here. If I spawning pods here, that is a consume trigger, and a consume trigger would give him a bunch more decay. I think that's worth it. Having a bunch of decay and then having the Moral Mistress be alive just in case is totally fine. Even though I don't get the 4 triggers here, I think that's also fine because then I would have to use the Slam to get him into the front to get the hits so that he triggers his rage. Plus, I have absolute confidence this will be able to kill him next turn. In fact, I'm pretty sure all this will be able to kill him next turn. Oh, I forgot about you. What'd you get me, boy? Bloodthirsty Blade. That's fine. It's a few extra attack, isn't it? So, if it works, it works. We'll put it on you just because you're killing him. And I really don't care that this unit's dying, I don't think. Of course, I'll still do this anyway, but... Oh yeah, this saves him. I could also proliferate again. That takes him to 0. Or I could proliferate down here for the Rage stacks and the Valor stacks. I think this is better. Ooh, that's interesting enough, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Possible that wasn't the right play, simply because, again, we want him to be doing damage to my unit. But he's still doing 1 here, so that's fine. Yeah, no problem at all. We are taking this straight to the bank. Again, 105 times 2, slam you to death. We'll just let this play out. So I'm pretty confident in this run so far. Of course, stranger things have happened, and there will be some problems later on in the run. But because all my units are so tanky, I'm feeling pretty comfortable against Seraph here later on. Advance. Apply Valor 5 to a friendly unit, then it attacks immediately. Or advance, apply X melee weakness. Fun Guy in a Suit is okay, but I don't really have anything to... Like, I suppose I have some spawn synergies now. Spawn. But I just don't think I have enough. I think the attack immediately on a unit that we know is going to start getting really strong. Rage 24 already, yeah. I think this is the play. We also do have, again, those shift synergies in our deck still with the Battle Dancer in case we wanted to build for him. Rally applied to K2, Revenge apply melee weakness 1, or Strike gain Valor 1, Shift gain Rage 1. This, I think, is the play, and the reason is because not only are we starting to get a few shift synergies in our deck, the Demonic Fledgling has 2 status effects it applies to itself, so proliferating is pretty good on that, because you're proliferating, again, the Rage and the Valor, just like we noticed with proliferating on the Rage we just got from the Steadfast Crusader. And we already have a lot of tank, so both of these I don't really need, so I think it's the Fledgling all the way. Especially since it's a smaller unit. Although, we are kind of running low on board space. I don't know if I get the +2 on each floor. Draw 1 each turn, +1 energy. Energy would be okay. We have a few spells that cost 2 in the deck that we're looking to play maybe a couple times. But I think the actual answer is probably Heaven's Light, and my rationale for that is, this Amra Sanoki. So the more units we get on the same floor, the more powerful she gets. Same thing with... Also, the Steadfast Crusader can protect, I guess, more units, and we are kind of running low on board space anyway, so I'll take the Heaven's Light. Later on, I'll probably get some... I think I'll get some energy. That seems good, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? Okay, so we have options. This is a good combo. I like getting money and trinkets, plus the Celestial Alcove trigger would be good. Being able to forge the Steadfast Crusader as well is pretty good, though. We don't have any of our units upgraded, except for that one upgrade. Like, I could maybe get Dualism on him and then double those stacks. I think the possibility of getting Dualism to double the rage triggers on this Crusader is good enough that I'm maybe willing to take this Merchant of Steel. What's coming up next, though? So afterward, we could... Ooh, a duplicate. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, if I upgrade my Crusader here and then maybe duplicate him later on, I can get 2 of those Crusaders. Maybe remove one of the weaker ones, like I could remove this one or something. I haven't ever built around this card, but this turns out pretty well if you know you have Rage on him. Plus, I don't mind getting an Under Legion unit, so I don't think this is terrible. I don't know what Under Legion unit I would be looking for, though. There's not really anything I need. I'm kind of good on units now, especially with all the space I have, right? There's also a chance that I go in the alcove and I get another upgrade that can potentially go on this unit. So that is an option to think about as well. It's a tough choice. I think I go here. I'll take the Pyre Health. I think I'm mostly just for the Merchant of Steel. I don't know if the Under Legion banner is great, but... Titanite! Titanite means this unit never dies. Ever. That's probably the play. Either that or quick, but we don't really want him to be killing things before they kill him. We want him to take the damage for those rage stacks. I think we're fine with that, because even though that, again, doesn't double the... You know, I wanted Dualism here to double these, but Titanite is not bad. That is a very good pick. I'm not complaining. I don't think anything needs quick, except for maybe the Fledgling here. So maybe the Fledgling could get quick, and then maybe I get Multi-Strike later on, and that could go pretty hard. Let's also see what I get in the banner, now that I know what I have in the store. Ooh, yeah, see? I didn't really need either of these cards. I don't really need the tank, and even though the Rally is nice... I mean, the Rally is nice, right? Like, I could do a Steadfast Crusader on one, maybe backed up with some of the Decay synergy on one floor, and then on the yeah, so maybe I could do Steadfast Crusader guarding the Moral Mistress and the Demonic Fledgling in the back, and none of that has to do anything with Rally. So then on the second floor, I could apply maybe more an Amorous Inoki and stuff like that. Although I do want to apply the Amorous Inoki health bonus to the Steadfast Crusader as well, so... It's kind of a tough pick. Honestly, don't really need these, but... I might even just skip. I think I'll go with the Spore Launcher. There's a chance I get something like a Small Stone to make him so he just fits into a floor. I don't have a Small Stone here, but... I don't know, might be worth a shot. Let's upgrade my champion. So we can either get Man-Eating 2, which is pretty good. That makes it so it applies a mute as well as, you know, upgrades the stacks of Sap and Decay. Or we could build into Decay. Now, we did just find this Spore Launcher, and we do have the Moral Mistress, so we could make that our first floor, but the problem is I want this Steadfast Crusader to be taking as many hits as possible, which means probably he needs to go on the first floor. And Decay also, at least in my opinion, I prefer it when it is also on the first floor, so you're, you know, getting as many triggers as the units move up the floor of the Decay going off, because, you know, it deals at end of turn. So I feel like those conflict a little bit. Of course, the Sap does mean that they're not working anyway. Although the Decay one does work with the Man-Eating itself. Because maybe I could put Madam's Lion's Mane plus the Moral Mistress on the same floor, proliferate them sort of deal. I think I'd play it safe and go for Man-Eating. Even though I could be playing more into Decay, it's just generically powerful. There's not really any synergies there, but sometimes you just don't need synergy. Sometimes you just need powerful effects that just read the video game. I forgot I have Truffles too, so maybe I can get like the multi-strike on this if I get the right equipment, something to consider. And I want to put Quick on the Fledgling. Quick is kind of weird. Maybe I should have taken Quick now I think about it, simply because that kind of conflicts with wanting my guy to take damage. So at the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor. This one is totally doable because we have the Moral Mistress, which can apply Decay 8 to all enemy units, which can pretty quickly take them out. Of course, she might die for it, but again, that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. For money. What did we draw? Alright, so the question is, do I put an Amorous Inoki on this floor? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should know that by now. Floor capacity. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and have one more room for another unit. I think that's fine. I guess these two shifters kind of want to go in the same spot, don't they? My deck's trying to do a lot of things right now. It's possible that some of the picks I've taken or rather I shouldn't have taken them, but it's totally fine. I think the play here is... Maybe I do play the Inoki. I think I do. I think maybe I want one Inoki per floor. Giving my big Titan unit more health seems pretty good. So we'll give you that. We definitely want the Moral Mistress on the top floor, and a reasoning for that being we need her to give the decay all here. And that does remind me we need something to protect her. So we can just put the other Crusader here, I think. And just have this be a unit, a floor that deals with the enemy units appearing on each floor. So some will appear here, some will appear here, they'll go up, right? So, and there they are. It's really good if you have a way to kill, if you have an AoE effect on the second floor when it's empty against these guys. When they die, they apply corruption to your unit. I am fully expecting that this Steadfast Crusader to be, to die to all this effect, but that's fine. Sometimes that's all you need to do, is just take a few hits. Now, I do have Divinity, so actually, with Valor 20, he might be able to just tank the corruption for forever, almost, if he stays in the front. So I think I actually do apply Divinity to him. Yeah, I think I apply Valor to you, which again, that's corruption trigger, so that gets them all dead. Man Eating is free, so we'll just save some HP. And wow, yeah, look, he's actually gaining 2 HP. That's pretty good. Now, I really need to be playing, I think, the Divinity. I don't think I need to be playing it here, but it's good. It's powerful enough that I want to be doing it. Although, I do need to get rid of this Bell Ringer. So this guy, if I don't kill him, will put a card on top of my deck, which I do not want on top of my deck. So, possible that that's better just to move up front and kill first. What are my other options here? I could apply Valor 5 to a friendly unit that attacks immediately. Does some damage, not really. I think I do this. I'm going to advance you so I don't take the fire damage. Play one. Slam you so you die, and then still deal some damage here. And I don't need to slam here, because they all have decay. Alright, so drew a couple curses, not the greatest thing, but we could just play a Spore Launcher here, and then just hope to draw into the spawning pods later, but that would be a few turns. But we do want to kill, if possible, this Profane Supplicant. I just don't think there's a way to do that with the current setup I have. Yeah, I think that it's kind of a bad turn for me, honestly. Is everyone dying here? They will now. If I slam one of you and then poison the other, they'll all die. Which I think is worth it. Alternatively, I could just hit a Consume, and that would give decay to all of them, but just using the abilities here I think is fine. I think I actually put the Spore Launcher here. And then hope for next turn, I just take the one, deal with this. You know, if I didn't have a curse, I wouldn't take the one. But, you know, we're getting a crazy unit out of that event I went to get him stronger, right? So, definitely worth it. Yeah, these times like these, is when I wish I could have played the the Moral Mistress on the bottom floor, because this would, putting decay on all these units would significantly help me. But I can still apply decay to these units, which I think is what I need to do. So I'll play the truffles out. On which floor? I think I play the green recruit here. They'll kill the green recruit. It'll apply a bunch of decay to everyone, which hopefully means they die to this floor. Speaking of dying, let's make sure you don't die. I don't think I need to proliferate or do anything else there. I also don't know if I really care about truffles going on this one. I kind of want the squad leader on that floor. I mean, I have a lot of room, so it's possible it just doesn't matter. But this also applies more decay to these units, which I think is more important right now. Okay, truffles, what'd you give me? Glass cannon, ephemeral, fragile. It'd be really good if something got multi-strike. As it is, I still think it's pretty good, because this guy's never going to die, and I don't think they have sweepers, so just giving this random Amorous Inoki some tankiness, I don't think is a bad idea. Definitely play this, don't want to take the 3, and I don't think I can kill that, but I think I can slam this to death. Oh, maybe not to death, but close enough. Okay. Could just proliferate here, but casting a spell makes my units get sapped, so I'm not really keen on that. You've already got equipment now, so I guess I could just apply Valor, the equipment on you for Valor, which I think is fine. Having this man get some Valor there gives him a bit more survivability for the next 2 turns here, because he is getting pretty low. Of course, the regen will help once I get oh, look at that. So something like this, right? Although these units are stacking up, so again, these discordant tolls are kind of starting to get to me. I definitely don't want to take this damage. I don't think I need to. Yeah, you're dead on that, so that's fine. I think a single unit kills this guy. And you all survive this? So even though I will get the 2 triggers here, I think I just play in the backline this Battle Dancer. Maybe move him up later with something like this, just so I can get the decay to kill him. I think even just he kills him personally, but either way, he's dead. Okay, so we can slam, does basically no damage. I really didn't apply enough Valor at the beginning of the game here. If I had a bit more Valor, my unit here would be much tankier right now, but I ended up applying the Valor to my front unit, who's now dead, funnily enough. So this boss fight may be a bit of a struggle. We are killing both of these, so I think I just play my... Yeah, I wasn't getting anything interesting. Ah, the spawning pods would be great, actually, now I think about it. There's no way for me to have played that, though. It's kind of a shame. This relic is actually doing me some, ironically, some pretty bad things, but it's not really the relic's fault. Oh yeah, it's the corrupt guy, isn't it? The corruption means, since my Amorous Inoki got, since my Amorous Inoki got fragile earlier, she'll die to the first trigger of that. It's actually pretty bad for me. What do you get? Cursed Twin Blade. So I could just give you Double Strike, and then just take away that equipment, make it see an extra trigger or something. I don't know if that's good. I don't think that's good. I'll also just give it to you, but you're dying in basically 1 hit. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. So is anyone else a good bearer of this? I think you are. She's got the most attack. So, I do think I'll have to play for getting all the way up here. Honestly, not a great setup for me in general. I think I just play these out. Slam you just cuz. This may be a potential restart battle where I'm going to have to rethink where the Valor went. Because the Valor at the beginning of the game is probably what has been leading to this outcome here, right? I'm going to play the Inoki now, and the reason is because Ooh, you have Corruption 5. I forgot about that. We need to get you some regen. So I think I actually take the 6 here just so I can apply the Divinity onto something like the Sanoki. Just so I can have armor next turn so I can maybe do something. This is going to be a pretty rough fight. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to see. Welp. Yeah, there's no way we're winning this fight as it stands, so we'll hit this button, and we won't feel bad about it. So, we still have to deal with all those units, but it's possible that the play might be... It could even be that the play is actually put the Valor unit up here, but I do want him to be getting all those stacks still. I might actually be running the... Instead of running the Moral Mistress here, I might actually run the Spore Launcher. Every time I play a unit, it would wipe the board there, so... I could maybe play the Steadfast Crusader here instead, and then... Well, I want you to be healthy, don't I? So I want you to be getting regen, so... I think what I do here is... Spore Launcher, Amorous Sanoki, Steadfast Crusader, and then maybe a Madam's Lime in the back here. Do I want her on this floor? I don't want the Moral Mistress on this floor. I kind of want the Mistress on this floor, which means I think yeah, but if I put her in the middle, she's gonna die to pretty much everything there. I think I'll put her here. We'll give this one more shot. Okay, so now kill you with that. So as we established, we definitely need the Valor on this guy. If we don't have Valor on him, he'll just die too quickly. But having the extra 20 armor a turn goes a very long way. And then maybe we just proliferate here. We could also proliferate here. Does that do anything? That doesn't do anything for me, so... Proliferate here, get a bunch more triggers, more regen, more Valor, so can't complain. Now, with this line, we do take 3 damage from this guy hitting the pyre, but that's more than dying to the boss, or better than dying to the boss, rather. In fact, we might be doing pretty... We might be taking quite a bit here, so just to these guys. Yeah, and these guys are kind of going off too. It's not really great for me, I'll be honest. Alright, we'll put an Everlasting Light here. We'll use one of these, and... I think it's fine if the Spore Launcher dies. Kinda just wanted it so it, again, killed everything, right? Makes me wonder if the Inoki would have been better here, though. Either way. Let's... What am I drawing next turn? Anything that can tank. There's a lot of things that could potentially tank for my Madam's Lion's Mane on the top floor here that I could play. Debating playing this Everlasting Light versus just taking the one on the shard. I think I do, actually. Just take the one. We'll see how this goes. More Valor. You actually survived this, which I'm kind of surprised by. You can just put a green recruit in the way, though, just to guarantee that. I think... We'll do this. This is going to die to 1 pyre hit. This will make it so this just dies before it gets to the pyre. And then I think we just go 1 to get the Moral Mistress. We don't really need... I don't think we're playing her this game. We might not play her at all. But I could just apply the Valor here. This getting to the top floor is kind of what's worrying me. I don't think I have anything to deal with that too easily. I mean, I did say that she survives that floor by herself. So possible she just wants to do that, right? This dies in 1 hit anyway. Do you die to a slam? You take 50, you go to You don't die to a slam, I don't think. Unless my math is wrong there. I can see what Truffles gives me. For an equipment, maybe? I don't know if it matters, but it could matter. Getting a bunch of regen could be cool. And then just advancing next turn to go to the front. Get a bunch of... Let's do that. I will play one of these tools. Oop, getting some pokes here. Just gonna check a message quick. There we are. Okay. Yeah, I think we just apply the Divinity, or the Valor there, rather. Let this die, make some units. Play the other Toll, maybe? So worried about this unit here. You may just have to take the damage again. It's very... and this is what I mean by the... You need to kill these guys. If this happens, it can sometimes just end the run there, then and there. I don't think it matters too much. I think if I slam, this kills everyone. Yeah, it does. Okay. So that handles that. But we're still worried about this. We can sap you a bit, give you some decay so you die quicker. And then advance this so it dies to my Madam Lionsbane. I can even give you some Valor and kill it without taking any damage, but I think I don't want to be taking fire damage, so I'll have to play these tolls. Not great, but I think we're in better shape for the actual boss fight. We'll take some fire damage here, but again, better than losing. Okay, so you can tank, keep my Madam Lionsbane alive, so this dies. You can kill one of these. And anything else? I think I just probably play these tolls out. Yeah, and I'll be taking 5 here next turn, but that's again fine. And you'll see right off the bat here, obviously we're almost killing him now. Last game we weren't even close, right? So just goes to show just how much just moving your units around on the board can really impact the course of a game. Which I think now is going to be lethal if we do this. Oh no, yeah, he applies corruption to my units if I do that, doesn't he? Let's see if this is any better. In that case, possible I just play a Fledgling in the back there and I kill this. That does kill. So then I can Fledgling, both of these out of my way, slam you, because why not? And just end the fight. GG. Alright, so what do we get? Consume spawn one for each more in your consume pile. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consume cards. Potentially this could be spawn 7 if I wait long enough, if I give this like permafrost or something. Mulch is okay. Mushy Room is fine. Applying sap to things is not bad. I don't know if we care too much about sap. Playing more consume cards is pretty good with the consume synergies we have with our Moral Mistress. We could build more into that. So I could maybe take the Fertile Ground here. I don't like getting the Calcified Ember. It's not really ideal, but... I mean, this mulch is almost... We're at 26 cards. This mulch is almost a draw too, but one of the downsides to playing Pyre of Dominion with this combination is Under Legion has a lot of cards that care about how many cards you have in your deck, and obviously taking all the Strain Stewards and the like out of your deck lowers that count by quite a bit. Even though there's an Ember, I think I take the Fertile Ground. Ooh! Ooh, baby. That is very good. Shield, we have a lot of equipment already. But especially if we maybe combine these two equipment, the shield with something else maybe, I think shield was exactly what I had mentioned before as maybe something to put on this unit. So that's what I will go for. Merchant of Magic is probably the play here, considering we can also duplicate our really powerful card. Although, I did just say I wanted to improve the equipment there, so I may even go make that deployable. So I'm always drawing at the beginning of the game. And maybe even potentially get a Celestial Alcove for my... for my for my big strong Crusader here, right? So, I'll go this way. Go to the Merchant of Arms, see what's there. Another shield. And an Overgrowth Carapace. Interesting. Well, I don't really have too much. I mean, I have some space available. I could literally just put him in one by himself and just have him solo tank the floor with the Overgrowth Carapace. I don't know if that's good. I don't think that's good. I mean, it could be really funny with a shield if I merge the two, give him a bunch of extra health, and then everyone hits him and they just die. That could be pretty funny. Another shield is good, because another shield can just be equipped on another Crusader, especially if we end up getting cloning him, getting multiples, right? So I think another shield is fine. Do I want to merge these equipments together for 3 mana? I don't know about that. Maybe I do. Merging these two, getting deployable, and then maybe getting an extra energy as my next boss relic could be pretty good. So I think I do that. So I'll merge these two into one equipment. I'll upgrade it to be drawn in the deployment phase. I guess before I do that, I don't really need to do that yet. I could look in the Celestial Alcove before I make any commitments. I'll also take a look at this horde here, just to see what I get. Shroom units gain regen and 1 on harvest. Oh, how I hope that you were a Shroom. I have a lot of Shroom in my deck, so that's probably still worth it, but if this angel was a Shroom, I would be having a very good time right now. But you're not a Shroom. And I don't think I can make you a Shroom either, as much as I wish to plant spores in your brain right now. It might just be cleansing water. It's just generically powerful. I'll take it. The regen 1 on harvest is good with proliferate and all that, but I don't know. I don't know if it's really that needed. The Inokis aren't the ones tanking or using the regen, right? It's the front unit that's going to be doing all that, for at least for. I mean, I guess I did say that I'll need the health for. Yeah, but they kind of die in one hit. The health for the Champion of Savagery, by the way, is what I mean to say. The more health with the Amorous Inoki that they get, the better they are to survive the massive power strikes of the sweeps that are coming up for me later on in the run. So I can go ahead and get this, but again, go to the Celestial Alcove first. See what we get. Oh, it's Dante. Oh, it's Dante. So, to those of you unfamiliar, you kind of have to take Dante. Dante is probably one of the best cards in the game, objectively speaking. And he actually does work really well with the Crusader, providing tank for him. And I could give him the Valor now to make him deal a bunch of damage. The way Dante works is summon, add a permanent Dante's Candle to your deck, gain a stack of multi-strike for each Blight card in your deck. So I already have a couple Blights in the deck, Calcified Ember, this Savage Shackles, and the 2 that I start with for being on a higher Covenant. So he's having quite a bit of multi-strike, so Valor also gives attack. So Strike 2, apply Valor 2 to enemy units. So every time he attacks with his multi-strike, he's applying the Valor. So I think that's the play. I just take Dante and I just win the run. I wasn't expecting my first game to be a Dante game, but, you know, we take what we can get. That actually makes Fight Club more interesting now, because Fight Club Dante means that every one of his multi-strike hits just deals a bunch more damage. So I actually might just go Fight Club, make that deployable, or I could just get a. So the thing is I kind of want this equipment to go on my frontline unit, right? Because I want the Dante isn't the one I want to be getting hit. I want the front unit to be getting hit, my big tank, and Dante's going to be the damage dealer, right? So I'm actually going to deploy probably the Fight Club, I think, or the Everlasting Light. The Everlasting Light, just being 1 mana, I think is pretty good. I don't know. Dante will need health at some point because of all the sweep units. He doesn't have much health, so I think... Okay, so this is something I gotta consider. So do I have another Merchant of Arms coming up? Because if I do have another Merchant of Arms coming up, ooh, with a double up there, I can maybe double up the Dante. The reason I'm looking into that is because if I had to make one of these deployable, I can maybe merge another shield with an Everlasting Light later on to deal with before I get to Seraph, so that my Dante can have some health, at least a little bit of health to deal with those sweep units. I may even find another way to get my Dante more health, truly. So it's possible for that reason the Fight Club is better, but yeah, I think because I don't really have the mana to be able to play this and the Dante and my big unit on turn 1, so I'm actually gonna make this 1 mana Everlasting Light deployable, and then go to this battle. So let's show you why Dante is good. So I have 1 less energy every turn, which is actually a bit of a problem for me, because that does mean I can't actually play the Dante plus the Steadfast Crusader plus my equipment, which is relevant. I definitely want my Crusader and Dante to be played initially, though. So 3 times 6. The reason for that is because I know I'm going to be getting my Valor spell on my first turn, which I'll probably play on Dante now, to give him a bunch of attack. This floor is probably good already. I don't know if I want to be playing my champion there. Yeah, I think I will. Actually, just in case, I'm gonna put her in front of Dante. You never know. Sometimes just that one bit of extra HP or that one extra bit of tank could literally save you the run. This Dante's gonna hopefully carry me. Alright, so yeah, that got rid of the reanimate, so I'm actually kind of glad I took this cleansing water. Not that it matters, they're all dying pretty quick. So I'm actually not sure if I even apply sap here, because I do want my Steadfast Crusader to still be taking damage, so he gets the rage stacks. So I think I just play this... Ooh, yeah, I only have 2 energy a turn, so... if I play this, then I can't play basically anything except for maybe a Proliferate, which I don't know if that's a problem, because my guys are kind of dying already. But I do want the Divinity stacks, don't I? Tough call. I think the play here is... What else do I have in my deck? Anything else that could buff Dante? I guess the Everlasting Light, right? And the armor's pretty good on you, so maybe I actually play the Divinity on you. Everything is dying this turn, though. I don't really need to worry about that right now, I don't think. That could bite me in the butt later. But I think what I do is I just get set up this floor just in case this floor fails for some reason. And just let you take all those rage stats. Again, I don't know if it's the right play to... I have to play the Dante's Candle, I don't want to take that damage. Slam, maybe a bit more damage there. Oh no, it doesn't seem, so I'll restart. Possible I did actually want to Man-Eat last turn, even though it wouldn't give me the rage stacks, just because he might be dying now. Of course, I'll give the Everlasting Light to Dante, and that'll give him a bunch of Valor. So yeah, he's actually gaining 3 now, and you'll see why in a second here. However, I'm not winning the floor, which is a problem. I think because of that, I have to probably put some Decay and Sap on you, even though I'm getting no rage stacks. That's fine. This and the candles, so I don't take 3. Dante, every time you summon him, makes more candles. Okay, and then you just send that. Yeah, so just Dante gave 12 Valor to everyone despite him doing his thing, right? So, okay, you slam, deal the 30 there. Sadly, I don't think I can deal too well with that floor. Again, this floor seems to be set for now, so I think I start worrying about other floors. And what other floors means right now is these guys going up. I can't actually kill this Collector, which is a little sad, but it is what it is. I'm going to put the Amber Sanoki here, just so we can maybe take out some of these Reanimate nerds as they kind of come up to the top floor. I'm pretty confident in Dante soloing this. Can't play the Ember, sadly, but I can play maybe another Amber Sanoki here. Just in case. I honestly don't think it matters too much. We'll put a Sure White U in there, why not? And again, I don't want to be using any of those, because I want my Dante to be taking damage. Or sorry, not Dante, my Steadfast Crusader to be taking damage, pardon. Speaking of taking damage, that's pretty good. Oh, I found something even better, though. If I do spawning pods... Oh, it's an incant trigger. That might be better with Dante. I think it's fine. If I incant trigger slam forward, maybe that isn't better. Maybe just the shield's better. Yeah, it looks like the shield is better, so I'll eat my words on that. Any reason to do this? Nope. No reason to slam either. Everyone's dying. I'm gaining 4 life. Life is good. Yep, and everyone dies, so Dante doing this thing. Any other reason to do anything? Nope, I'll just hit send. I don't want to be buffing my units here, because I want my, again, frontline unit to be taking as much damage as possible, right? Grow Room. At the end of turn, all units propagate 1. That seems pretty good. I'm going to have a lot of Valor triggers to propagate. There may also be Rage propagating there. It's worth the Ember. The Ember's also fine to have in my deck now that I have Dante, because every single Blight I have, which includes these Embers, is just another Dante trigger, right? Valor on friendly units adds 1 attack per stack. That, I've never ran lead Songbird in a deck like this, but that seems really good with the amount of attack I'm giving to Dante. Bearing that in mind, I could go to the Merchant of Trinkets here, remove 2 cards, but I don't really think there's too much I want to be removing. Again, I don't care that the Blights are in my deck too much. So I think I just take the Pyre Health here, and then just try to upgrade maybe Dante or something. Like I said, I can maybe get the Spore Launcher to be small. I don't think it matters. Quick on Dante is pretty good. The only problem with the Quick on Dante is then I'm not scaling my Steadfast Crusader anymore, and I just give up on that. Which could still be fine, by the way. Dante is that strong. I don't actually think I take that. I think this might be incorrect. I'm gonna reroll. I think I'm actually going to give Dante Titanite, and that's going to seem weird. And the reason I'm giving Dante Titanite, I'll kind of explain it here, is in my deck, there is one problem with Dante, and that is that he has low health. And in my deck, the solution to that is to give him health. So if I give the Dante something that gives him just a fraction more health, potentially, to survive maybe even just 1 hit, just a random sweep hit somewhere, or even just random corruption somewhere, then I think that's fine. Don't know if that's correct, but I think something that's important to note is that I have a lot of damage, I have a lot of power in my deck. You have to consider when you're figuring out what to add into your deck, what are my lose conditions? And right now, one of my lose conditions is Dante dies, he's so weak. Or my lose condition is, you know, I don't scale my Steadfast Crusader enough, something like that, right? So I have all the damage I need in the world with the rage triggers from my Crusader and the Dante now, so health is my lose condition, so that's why you take health. Silence, armor 60. That's not bad either. Apply sap to 3 enemy units at the end of combat, or sap 3 to enemy units at the end of combat, pardon me. I kind of have enough Everlasting Light as it is. I also still have these 2, truffles in the deck. You can occasionally just give me a random equipment, so I don't really need too many more equipment. So I'm actually going to take the Mushy Room here. Maybe I could put it on the top floor, give some smaller units some sap before they leave. Is there anything else I need to be doing here? Do I want to upgrade any units with Valor? I mean, I could just give Dante some Valor to start with. It's not bad. Especially since he's gaining more Valor. There might be a better upgrade I could give him, though. The question is am I ever going to have a chance to give it to him? You have to figure out your pathing. If I'm going to this Merchant of Arms to duplicate something next turn, maybe the Dante, maybe my Guardian, depending on what I choose, that means that maybe I go to a Merchant of Steel here to duplicate again, remove 2 cards. So I think that's the play, which means that I don't actually need to commit something to my Dante yet. If I get... I don't know what I would want. Maybe I would want quick on him and just put 2 quick Dantes on a lane, but that might be for the Titans, kind of at the end of the game. Actually, for the Titans, you don't really... You kind of want... Maybe Endless. Maybe I'm looking for Endless on Dante or something like that, just in case he does die. Endless on Dante isn't bad at all. Alright, well I won't commit for now, and I'll just go to the cherubs here. So again, hit the Titan Trial, lifesteal 1 to enemy units. So that's not a bad one. The one I would be really scared of would be the Spikes one. Thankfully we know that we didn't have the Spikes one going into this, but a multi-strike unit getting absolutely destroyed by Spikes is definitely on the table, right? So okay, so 1 Steadfast Crusader here, 1 Dante here. I just realized this, I actually have too many units. So I ended up putting deployable on the Everlasting Light here. I should have removed probably one of the Steadfast Crusaders, maybe the Battle Dancer from my deck. So I'll have to remember that as I move forward, that I need to remove one of those cards so I can have the Valor trigger here. I don't think it's a big deal, but every small thing like that can matter. So because I don't have that one, I think I play an Inoki here, maybe, and then the Lion's Mane here. And you would die in 1 hit, but I'm pretty sure I'll get another unit. Or will I? Maybe I won't. I will restart for that. It's a pretty quick restart. In that case, I might place another Crusader up there, actually. Something that can tank. Just slam him for a bit. Keep him distracted. Alright, so we are killing most of these units. I'm just going to sap you so you still deal damage to my guy, but then die afterward. I don't need to apply to Divinity to Dante to beat this floor, so I'm actually just going to go Vengeful Shard armor on you so that he survives more. And then, while I can, since he's about to take 22, I'll slam this Cherub here. Slam, of course, deals damage equal to his health plus armor, so... And there's the Grow Room. We also have a Fight Club. I think in this case, we don't have too much going on for Propagate right now. And we did also draw this Merged Equipment, which could be pretty good. I think this is... Even though I would love to put this on my Steadfast Crusader, I think that having the Valor on Multi-Strike is just good enough that I'll just put it on the Dante there. The only problem if I do that, though, is that this Chosen Bastion is going to ascend past my big, powerful floor here. So I will need something to be able to take him out, and honestly my deck right now is pretty focused on 1 floor, so that's another fault, pardon me. I guess I could... Yeah, so you kill this in 1 hit. Maybe I decay you? That doesn't do too much, does it? Let's see if Fight Club helps any. About what is that, 69? Maybe we advance melee weakness here. Oh, melee weakness does it. Melee weakness kills everyone, actually. In that case, we can just sap the boss himself, so he doesn't apply anything. And we don't need to do anything else. We can just play maybe a Grow Room here. Maybe I can give you Valor with a Grow Room. Sure. And I draw a card, doesn't matter. Okay, so you're about to take 18. That's lethal, isn't it? Do I want you to take lethal? Does it matter? I'll toss the squad leader in the way. Why not? Oh, yeah, I guess I can't do it in that order. Whoops. Forgot that advance is my unit. Alright, we'll slam you because why not? Because I think this is being taken out. So, 1 Dante's Candle so we don't take damage from it. And we'll go, I think in that case, since we are planning on tossing the squad leader in, we're just going to go squad leader in the front there, and then get a regen trigger. Kind of sucks that I drew the Divinity here, honestly. I would rather have that later. Yeah, I'm not getting the Valor triggers, which I'm starting to notice now. The Fight Club is fine, don't get me wrong. But... Alright, Apply Valor 5 to a friendly unit, then attacks immediately. That does kill this front unit, which I think is worth it. Yeah, because now that the whole squad is wiped, right? So we'll apply more Mute here so that you don't have your Resolve trigger, because I would rather not anyone have Lifesteal. Are any of these units better? Oh yes, my Valor unfriendly units creature could go on the back here, and that would be really good with my Steadfast Crusader, plus, again, Dante, so... In that case, we'll put the truffles back here. I won't use this fetch cooldown right now. I'll use it next turn. I don't have the mana for it. Unless I randomly got a 1 mana equipment, but you can't really know that, so fetch now. This unit's is equal to its max health. Is that good on anyone? I guess it's good on you, which is pretty good. So now I want to play the Valor guy here. And I want to have something to chump block you, so that'll be you. When you die, you'll respawn 4, which will give you a bunch more regen, so cooking a bit with gas now. Anything else? I think I'll play the... I can also just rally a bunch. I don't think I want to do that yet. I think I want to play the Spore Launcher up here. Alright, 1 candle, 2 candle, red candle, blue candle. Alright, Dante, start doing the Valor thing. This should probably end the game. Just because this guy will still hurt me, I'll do that to him. Anything interesting I can do here? I think a Slam would be worthwhile. No, a Slam doesn't kill, does it? It's only health and armor. I could consume just advance you and then just proliferate the damage shield. It's not bad. We'll just do that. I guess first I'll apply Mute to you because I can proliferate the Mute a bit, which is even better. I think this will definitely mean I win next turn. And we're seeing the value of having 8 multi-strike on a unit. Alright, so just have to take damage, hit those 2, melee weakness you. GG. $69. Nice. Alright, enchant grant multi-strike what? We already have quite a bit of multi-strike on our floor, and like I said, I don't really have the mana for this. I'm about to probably invest in mana as a boss relic, but I still don't think that's worth it. We already are dealing so much damage. So I think I actually take the damage shield, because again, lose condition is one of our units just randomly dies to a sweeper somewhere. So damage shield is pretty good for stopping that. In that case, I'll take the energy like I mentioned. And I think we get the Dante event here, yep. So again, we can either get the spell from him, that will make it so all of my this will do damage equal to the number of candles in my deck times 10, or just Pyre gains Titan Skin 2. You almost always want to go Pyre gains Titan Skill 2, or Titan Skin, pardon me, 2. Simply because not only is it really good with the, especially on higher difficulties, it just makes it so that you never need to play your Vengeful Shards. These will always deal 0 damage. It makes it so you don't need to play the candles as much, and it makes it so the Titan of Entropy, when you get to him, will deal less damage to your Pyre, actually. Which is, in my opinion, the most powerful thing of the 2 effects. We could duplicate a card. Like I said, I did kind of want to duplicate Dante just to get more of him in the deck. It's a pretty easy line, but is that what I want to be doing? I could also just upgrade my units. I guess this is... yes, because I wanted to go upgrade my units here, so I think I actually just go here, get him some money, look at the arms. To create a copy of friendly units on summon. Well, that's good with Dante, as the kids say. Any of this worthwhile? Fragile isn't bad, but Kind of is bad. I was specifically talking about multi-strikers earlier. Isle of Mirrors Dante is just the combo that everyone knows about, right? So, possible I just play the combo everyone knows about. It's a little boring, but I do have already 3 rooms, so maybe I just don't do that. Maybe I just upgrade something to be... I'll play a bit more, slightly more fun, and I'll just grab this merged equipment here. And then, like I said, I forgot to do this before, but I'm going to start removing some of these cards from my deck. So, sometimes, especially if you're running Pyre of Dominion, or you'll just end up with a bunch of cards, if you take a bunch of cards to kind of fill your deck out, that don't have too much synergy together. I don't mind the truffles for equipments. I don't mind some of these. I think I mind... I'm not really doing anything with shift, so I'm going to get rid of you. I'm also going to get rid of... I mean, the Moral Mistress is okay, but she's not really doing much. Squad Leader I just don't like. We'll remove you. And I think for now, we probably want to remove another banner unit. Yeah, the other Crusader, I think. Is that what I want to be doing? Or is it the Spore Launcher? Because I do have an extra shield here, right? And the shield does work really well on him. I might actually just take out the Spore Launcher that I picked earlier. Because I don't really have that much in the way of spawning, right? So it's good, but I'll get rid of it. Can merge these two. I don't know if it's worth it. Might be worth it just to have less cards in the deck. But I don't have enough mana to be playing all this on turn 1, right? I think I'll save my money. Duplicate a card. Probably just Dante. It's gotta be, right? Or I could just duplicate my extremely powerful Rage 106 Steadfast Crusader. I think that's more fun. I'll do that instead. For the record, in a perfect world, just duplicate the Dante. You can just get a trillion multi-strike. It won't even be a problem. But I think that duplicating that guy is more fun. It might actually be a better play than I'm thinking about it, because when we get to the Titans, we need something that handles this Titan of Savagery as he climbs the ranks, right? So, even though it's pretty obvious to clone Dante there, it might not even actually been the correct play. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Apply Sap 4, Decay 5, and Mute 2 to a unit, or we can go back to the Decay plan. So, again, we didn't end up doing much with Decay. We actually cut a few Decay cards, so we'll just stay with the Man-Eating. Our support, our champion ended up being more of a support unit, kind of at the end of the day here, which is fine. Ooh boy, Rax the Overblessed. I really don't like this guy. This guy ends runs. -1 energy per turn. Gain 400 gold. It's probably still good. I can probably still power through. Rax is just very, very strong. I lose a lot of runs to him. If you let him ascend past the first floor, he gets a multi-strike, and that can kill your team pretty quick if you're not built for it. So I think I play 1 here. Wow, I still have too many banner units, don't I? I'll have to kill. I'll get rid of a few more when I go to the next floor. That's fine. I don't actually think I ended up having enough to really play the equipment here anyway. Alright, so... yeah, thankfully these are only 1 HP, so it doesn't matter how strong Dante is, he'll still do his job. In which case, I think we just put the Valor on him again. And we do have our Songbird, so I'll place him in the back. Very tanky boy. Getting rid of the spell shield is really funny on all of them. I don't have anything to accomplish with it, but it sure is there. Everything dies here, and this takes no damage. I'm just wondering if this... oh, that does give it plus 13. Okay, perfect. Let's also toss an Amber Sanoki here with a Grow Room, maybe? Get some health or regen propagating up there, just in case, because you're getting pretty low. Not that I'm scared or anything, but you know. And see here the downside of merging your equipment, right? Is that if this was just a 2-mana shield, I would be able to play it, and then also this candle, which I value playing the candle. Okay, you... Yeah, now we're reaching the point where it might actually be necessary to... We also do want to get the money from you. But that 500 damage unit's going to be pretty tough. We do, of course, have another Steadfast Crusader up here with just a 200 straight up that can do quite a bit of damage. I mean, I think if I post this here, yeah, you take a bunch more from the revenge triggers, right? I take 3 from that, though. I guess it's 1 with the Titan skin. Yeah, I think that's why we take the Titan skin, right? So, we'll just do this. Everyone dies. Take 1. It's not the end of the world. I miss out on the money, but I think this is fine. Possible there's a line there to get the money and also not have to worry about any of that, by the way. Play Fire 5 to a friendly unit, then attacks immediately. Doesn't kill things if I do it on Dante, which is important because he can't survive the backlash. Just to consume here? Might just be here, actually. Just get the... Yeah. If I get the consume here, this starts getting regen propagating on all these guys, so... And then if I really need to, I can slam to advance later on. Take 1 candle. Again, the Titan skin means we won't take any damage from these shards there. I don't like how much health he has, but we do have another Crusader who does a lot of damage, so quite a bit of that's taken out at least. It's still not ideal. In fact, actually, this is a pretty bad turn here. We could do that to get the kill. Why not? And this is a difficult situation, so... Alright, what am I drawing next turn that could potentially deal with these guys advancing another floor? I'm not sure. Maybe Truffles? With like a cool equipment that gives multi-strike, maybe? I don't have anything to ascend my units, otherwise maybe I'd ascend him to deal with the Avowed Gladiator advancing here. It's not a great situation for me to be in, I'll be real with you. This would be a bit better if I could hit the slam, but they have the silence. So another loose condition of our deck, so this is important to note, is like good deck builders will recognize when you've made a mistake too, right? So one of the mistakes I made this run was I have a challenge to deal with the backline, but I actually don't have too much that just... If they have a big unit, like a 500 unit in front, and Dante can't kill it, and they just ascend, there's not much I can do against their backline. I can actually advance this and apply damage shield too, which would kill it. I could even do it here, but then, you know, of course, there's this big gladiator to deal with afterward, right? So I'm actually just going to post this there, take this so I don't take the 1. Call it a day, I think. We may be taking some higher damage here. Hopefully it's not the end of the world. Yeah, you're still silenced, I guess, so... Yeah, we will be taking, what is it, two hits? Go, my Truffles. What do you have for me? Ha! Multi-strike. I don't think that does anything, but... That is a very powerful card to put on a unit that has 200 attack. I think about the Grain Recruit here just to get a bit more damage. I don't think it matters too much, honestly. I think that either way, this is going to take 2 hits from my Pyre. So, in the meantime, we'll Everlasting... In that case, I think that I changed my mind here. I think that, in that case, the Recruit will go here. We can maybe get him killed, get a bit more regen here. And I think we put the equipment on you. Maybe play Truffles, don't activate the Truffles. Proliferate, get a bit more Valor. Oh, that gets a kill there. There's only one more wave, by the way, so this is fine. I'm taking some damage here, but It is what it is. Alright. And there's the problem with him. I am dealing quite a bit of damage, and he is still saying no. However, wow, that is a lot of sap. Or that sap is doing a lot of work, rather. Okay. So, we kind of want to give you damage shield to a couple more triggers. Oh, okay, there we go. Turns out it's not a problem. Thank you, Dante. Very cool. That'll do. Who has multi-strike now? Alright. Dig deep. It's okay. Summon, apply sap 3 to enemy units. That could be okay if I put it on the top floor. But honestly, I don't think I really need to be adding too many cards to my deck at this point. I'm kind of set up already. Trample is okay. We kind of have these big, powerful 200 damage Crusaders that don't have multi-strike or anything. So they kind of need a way to deal with a floor of smaller units, right? Just to trample through them. So I think that's a fine pick. I think I used this to remove 2 cards from my deck, because I did have too many banner units. So what's not doing any work here? Truffles is okay. I don't mind getting equipment occasionally. Honestly, I'm not really using the Moral Mistress enough. I didn't end up going with the Consume theme. Which means I could take out the Fertile Ground, but I think it's still fine to have in the deck. It's not ideal, but I may even remove it depending on how much money I have later on. And we have 3 of you, so I think at this point I can maybe remove one? I could even just remove like an Inoki or something. Yeah, I kind of want one of these on all 3 floors, so I may even upgrade this one to be... I may even upgrade this one right now to be a bit of a tank, actually. I actually made a mistake here. I should have been checking the strops before I decided what to remove. I will remove one of the Inokis, though, I think. Let's see. Let's see if it bites me in the butt. Upgrade a unit with Endless. Okay. That is what I said Dante kind of needed, right? It's fine on Green Recruit, but this is more of a failsafe than anything. Upgrade a unit with regen 10. You want to go with regen 10. You want to be having high health. We'll give you the regen. And before I go too further here, I'll also check the Merchant of Trinkets. Units gain an extra upgrade slot. Ooh, spicy. I think I'd take that. I think that's worth it. I could also re-roll, see if I get any newer artifacts. Ancient Pyre Tap is a powerful artifact. That helps quite a bit. I actually don't know how this interacts with Titan Skin 2. I'm not sure if you can play, for instance, a 1-mana card after you're done and not take any damage. So I'm actually, out of curiosity, I'm going to take it just to see if that interaction works. Just because that would be nice to know. Twisting Mycelium I don't think is worth it. I think because we have unit upgrades, we might reroll here. We can also upgrade our, again, we can upgrade our Dante, right? So, first of all, does anything want a large stone? Not sure about that. Possible one with the Tramplers or something, but I don't think so. I'm just gonna reroll here. Multi-strike 1. Is that good on anything? That's good on the Crusader, isn't it? I was just talking about how much of a problem they had with actually dealing damage to multiple units, so that kind of solves that issue, so... There we go. We're not a Dante deck. We're a Crusader deck, I swear. Upgrading it with 14 attack. Probably... Yeah, that's probably a Dante thing. Although, actually, you're probably getting the Valor, I think. Upgrade unit with 14 attack. Is there anyone else worth this? I'll still buy it, because I got really nothing better to spend with my money. It honestly doesn't matter too much. I'll put it on here, why not? You got quick already. Okay, so, duplicating a card except your champion. Might be Dante now, but I think that, honest to God, I think the Crusader's better. Just the Rage 123 with double strike. Like, this unit... for all Dante's powerful, I just put Endless on him, so I don't actually need more than one copy of him to be able to continuously play him. So I think these Crusaders are just going to be Dante's kind of gang here. Alright, Seraph Atrinus. This one's a bit of a meanie, so we will hit the Titan Trial, make sure we got that enabled. Okay, so we're fighting Seraph. I've actually already fought him once before on this run. I got pretty close to killing him, but I ended up forgetting that I had Ancient Pyre Tap here, so do remember that. There's no shame in restarting for mistakes like that, by the way. As long as it's something you realize afterward, you can go back and say, how could I have played this better? Some people will just restart the run if they don't win immediately, but I don't really see the point in that. I think learning lessons from your failures is just as important as learning lessons from your victories. And one of the lessons I learned is, how could I have played this better? What's the line I could have picked to have won this game, right? So playing around Ancient Pyre Tap is one of those. And one of the reasons we play around Ancient Pyre Tap is because we can actually get a really good deployment phase. I can pay a bunch of life in order to really flesh out all of these floors. I don't really want to play the Amorous Sanoki, I don't think. It kind of just dies. It's worth a life. It's kind of just dies, though, to a bunch of the sweepers that are happening here. One of the things you want to be doing with Seraph is kind of negating this melee weakness. If you can be hit, or let your unit be hit by something that won't kill it with 3 times damage, then that gets rid of the weakness before Seraph himself can just slam you in the face and absolutely ruin your day, right? So I will go ahead and put the Everlasting Light on my Dante up at the top here, and I don't think I even play the Steadfast Crusader here, because with melee weakness, I think he just dies in one hit to some of the sweepers that may be coming. So yeah, that would have killed him, right? But it doesn't kill my big, powerful Steadfast Crusader with the shield enabled on him, right? So if I had another shield, that may have, which I think I did at one point, but didn't give it deployable. That would have been a different story, but we did end up drawing it, so that's fine. We get a lot of Valor here. This will be pretty good. One of the things, actually, that I'm kind of needing to do here is, I think, just spawning pods for value. I mean, I could play the Amorous Sanoki and then spawning pods, but... right? Let's get some regen going on, maybe? I don't know if it matters. Is there anything else I'd be playing on this floor? Like a green recruit. So yeah, I'll play the Amorous Sanoki on this floor, and then I will kind of toss the spawning pods out here, mostly just to get the regen going, and also just to eat this first hit from Seraph. Because we don't really want to be doing that. I kind of want to be playing this Divinity still. So I will still play this for the Pyre health. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but you do what you gotta do. I will play... do I play the Screen Recruit out at all? If I had an extra slot, I'd play him there, but... yeah, I think I do. I'll put him here. I don't really need to play this out because I'm not taking the 1 damage because of my Titan skin. I think I'm fine with this guy advancing to the next floor, because then I can sap him on the next turn and then take minimal damage and then remove this melee weakness, which is kind of what I want to be doing, right? So in that case, since he's killing this, I'm just going to apply melee weakness to Seraph and deal a bunch of damage. Again, we ignore the 1 from the curse there. Now we got our Valor built up on the top. So now we have a floor that can reliably kill. It's our top floor, but that's fine. And also, we didn't remove the melee weakness on our Crusader, so we do kind of want something, if possible, to get up there. Ooh, Seraph went... That's kind of a problem for me. Seraph went to the middle here. I honestly don't know what I can do to stop that, because I drew all these curses. It's kind of a shame. I could slam you, and... that saves my Madam, I guess. And then I can at least use her for the Terrifying Amalgam. Maybe give you some Valor while we're at it. I give her some Valor, right? Yeah, this isn't the play I was thinking about making, but... I'm gonna put the Mushroom here, because that way that when they get up here, my Madam Lion's Mane won't just instantly die to all this stuff. And I'll play one of the candles so I don't take the damage and draw a card. And at this point, I think the Trample goes up here, because that will be pretty good for some of those smaller units. There's an argument to be made that the trample could go down here, but again, the sweepers are just going to ruin my day, so... I don't know if I spend the mana or the life to get rid of these embers. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all. I'll slam for a bit here. It kind of sucks my middle guy died, but I think I can still win this without him. Yeah, so the sap 3 on this floor is pretty good, so now I can just kill you. However, it's not as great here, is it? Seraph, you are a nasty boy. I think we just have to take our beats. Proliferate, proliferate. Play this, why not? Doesn't matter. The only problem is going to be the, yeah, because, like, you're fine here with the Valor and the Sap, right? I honestly wish I would have drawn that Sap. If I drew that Sap at the beginning of the game, this would be perfect. This would be an easy, easy run. It's possible that I may even have should have just played on the second floor and just let Sap run on the first floor. Hard to tell. I think I'm going to play a Steadfast Crusader here, because this guy's only doing 3 damage, which will eat the melee weakness. And you already have the Valor armor from your Valor, so you don't need it again right now. And I can just apply the mute here, deal some more damage. And then I think the next play is possibly this Sanctuary up top. So just like, I'm really just going to make this top floor as powerful as can be. Everything might have died on the bottom floors, but if that gives me enough time to set up this top floor as an absolute just annihilator, I'm fine with that. I think Fight Club is worth it in that case. You know, if I drew the... I'm going to feel really bad, though, if I draw... Yeah, I'm going to draw a Grow Room next turn, aren't I? And Grow Room propagating all this Valor and Damage Shield is going to be much better than just the Fight Club. So I'll actually toss... I might not even play the Fight Club, honestly. I might just let this die. Alright, so in that case, let's figure out what we want to be doing here to not let my whole team die next turn. I think the way to do that is slam, because you're going to die. I think I get rid of the Titan skin. Slam you. Get rid of you. Play the Fight Club. Just to get rid of... Ah, the Grow Room. That's fine. I can pay 1 to play it. It's definitely worth playing this turn. Demon will just die, so I'm not even going to bother playing it. Yeah, the other problem here too is going to be those what are they called? The amalgams here? The terrifying amalgams? They deal 5 if you have no units, so I am going to be taking quite a bit of damage here, but I think it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's kind of be what we have to do, right? Beggars can't be choosers. Melee weakness 1 here, equipment gains 1 permanently. That's not really, doesn't really do anything for me, but I'll still equip it. It's 0 mana. Might as well do the same thing here. Just grab a random equipment. Sure, Bloodthirsty Bait again. And I'll equip it on these units because I want to be putting, I think I have 1 more shield. Yeah, I have 1 more shield in the deck that I want to be putting on this unit if possible. I don't have any area to put the Valor, as it turns out, but that ends up being, that's fine, I think. One thing I'm not excited about is losing all my damage shield, though. At the end of the day, it is fine if Dante dies. He does have Endless. It's mostly just, it's hard to just tell if I can kill if Dante dies. So I think what I do is this. I'm going to selfless sacrifice the Dante, give him damage shield, and then move it so that this guy's actually taking the damage. Use the Dante's Candle, and then melee weakness to probably Seraph himself, I think? Probably Seraph himself. I'm getting, again, Dante's dealing 104 times 10. If he gets to attack, he does kill. but there's a lot of sweepers. Ooh, there's the shield. I honestly don't know if it's worth paying 2 life for. I'll just let it ride. I'm gonna be losing a lot of life here. Yeah, this is kind of the tax I'm paying for playing just on this one floor now. 5, 10, yeah, that's gonna be a lot. Alright, 1. I think we just give you more armor. Sure, why not? Oh, I guess that's why not. I just take the 1 damage from playing that. That's fine. I guess this will be a challenge to see if we can win the fight regardless. We're gonna... or the Titan fight. I honestly don't know if we can. We'll give it a shot. So everyone dies here. One of these... spawns 16? I think I just kind of need all the power I can get. Yeah, because that gives me a bunch of regen too, right? So... Alright, now you can... I don't think you need to advance yet. You can take some hits there. Alright. That's a victory. We take those. Slam, shield for good measure, hit the 2 candles so I don't take damage, and we hit enter. Honestly, I shouldn't have played the shield on him, even just for fun, because I do want him to be taking damage from Seraph as much as possible, because he still has the rage trigger on him. But we did make it to the Titans. We're on 22 health, but we did make it to the Titans. Let's see if we can do it. Alright, Clash with the Titans. Okay, so playing the Savage Shackles first, as we have to. So, however much I invest into... playing, Pyre health units is a pretty big deal here. I'm not going to have much health, because Entropy is going to hit me every turn, right? So, every hit point here will matter quite a bit. I honestly don't know if I play anything other than just this. I think I have to conserve my health as much as physically possible. Okay. Which means I think I have to... I think I actually play the Divinity on my Dante for the attack on the 11, and then he's going to put a bunch of Valor on everyone else, right? And I go 1, 2, and then I don't think I play anything else. Even the shield. The shield would be nice, but it's just not worth it. We'll Sap and Decay and mute you. Another thing that's going to be important is we need this Savagery Titan to not just absolutely destroy us. He will deal damage to the Pyre if there is no one there. So that means we are going to need to play a Crusader. This is kind of one of the reasons why I was glad I copied the Crusaders instead of Dante. I'll play a Firelight here. You kind of have to every turn. I'm only taking, because of the, again, Titan Skin kind of saving my butt here, I'm only taking 1. I have 20 turns to kill him, which I think is more than enough, so long as, you know, I don't let any escapees through. So that's going to be the trouble here, is making sure that even though we have all this power, can we still kill quick enough? I think we can. Alright, so since everything's dying here, I'm just going to sap the Titan himself, just deal some damage there. And at this point, I think... might be Valor you? I mean, I kind of need something to not die to the Titan to Savagery next turn, right? So there's a lot of units I could draw to make that happen. But I think I put Divinity on you for now. I think I'll Slam for this turn, and then I don't play anything else, I don't think. Alright, I kind of have to play these Curse of Entropies. I don't want to, but I have to. Firelight. We'll hit it again. I think we outraced this. Why am I taking 6? Oh, because of the Titan again, right? I think I just have to toss some guys under the bus here. Still don't survive. Interesting. We definitely have to sap you so you survive. This honestly doesn't matter. We're taking 1 damage either way. Okay, we can't do that, can we? I'll restart this turn. That doesn't end up doing anything. Does he have trample? Am I missing this? I honestly forget. He does have trample. Oh, okay. In that case, there's not really a point to playing a card there right now. I need a Titan, or I'm gonna need one of these Steadfast Crusaders to be able to handle him. So we'll sap you again so you survive. I think we put a Truffles out here then. Slay +1 on this floor. Interesting. I don't think that's good. Could be. I'll just put it on you, just because you might get a kill here or there. We have to play this, and I think we have to play these 2 candles. And then we can't play anything else just for the Pyre health. This isn't great. If possible, I don't ever want the Titan of Savagery to be hitting my Pyre again. I don't think I win if that happens. I have to figure out the math. Which means we have a regen Crusader up top here to start tanking, if need be. And I think that also means that we need to start building up this floor. I'll put you to the front so you start taking the damage, so that there's someone in the back. We need someone. We need people to survive up at the top. That's all this fight is going to come down to at the end of the day. And I think that means that we also start sapping you. Because as long as we're sapping the Titan of Savagery, he's not gonna deal as much damage to our units. Up top. Speaking of Titan of Savagery, look at that 1 HP. Yeah, 118 times 11 is a lot of damage. Alright, so that's another... Oh, I shouldn't have played that there. I forgot there was an Incant guy there, so... The Incant guy that increases the attack of everyone on all floors. That could kill me, so I'm not going to do that. Don't play your cards out. Willy-nilly, that is. Grow Room is okay here. I think I actually put the Mushy... I think my play is actually put the Mushy Room here, because this will give the Titan some more sap, which will again make it so maybe this... Ooh, yeah, you're not surviving, are you? It's kind of a shame. I think that means I toss a Punk Shredder in the way. Let you heal up a bit with the regen. Oh, I drew the curse. That kind of sucks. I think I have to play both of these. Yeah, even though he's at 1 HP, the Titan will continue to deal damage to him. Yeah, so we almost got this fight done on the Entropy and the Savage Titans. That's usually how it goes, right? You're usually waiting to kill, and you're waiting to kill Dominion. We drew the other Steadfast Crusader. That's really good. This guy can tank forever. I should also, it doesn't matter too much, but it's technically optimal. I don't think it'll matter for the fight at all, but you shouldn't probably be playing the curses before you play any units. If you are playing the curses. So we'll do that, and I think you've already got Valor going on here, so I think another multi-striker guy is going to need to start getting some more Valor. So you don't have any Valor, so I'm going to put the Valor on you, and... Yeah, I guess why not? We'll play this out, right? Unless this is something that is valuable. Oh, hey, look at that! More Valor. We don't really need more Valor here. He's kind of cooking, so... I think we just place it here. Just get a... You never know. A couple points can matter. You do your thing, Dante. Okay, so Curse, we have to play the Curse. Candle, we have to play the Candle. Firelight, we have to play the Firelight. I think this fight should be pretty straightforward from here. The only problem would be if this Titan of Savagery just randomly destroys a lane. So I'm just going to stuff one of these lanes just full of stuff to hopefully deal with that. And maybe put I guess you here, slam you, so you can take some turns in front with the Valor. I don't think it matters too much. I'll put the Fight Club in the middle here. Dante's dealing enough damage as it is. I do think that the, again, Titan Skin 2 is kind of what saved us here. Just allowing us those few more turns against the Titan of Entropy is, or sorry, the Titan of Dominion is kind of all you need. Yeah, it looks like we're pretty set, so I'll just toss the Candle, toss the Entropy Fire here. Toss you there. Slam you up so your friend doesn't die. Oh, you're still dying. Should be fine? I think I win next turn anyway. Yeah, sure. Although that's surprisingly close, I'll have you know. Is this GG? This is not GG. Does Proliferate help me at all here? Let's go. It does. Okay, so that just gives them just enough sap that one of my dudes lives here, which I think saves the run here. I don't know if I would have died either way, but, you know, better safe than sorry. Firelight. We don't need to play these. And my Pyre kills. GG. Great. Remember, if you like this video and if it helped teach you anything, please let me know in the comments. And of course, if you want to see any combinations that are your favorites, even if I played them already, I'm happy to play whatever Titan combinations, or pardon me, clan combinations that people want to be seeing there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.